Hello, and welcome to yet another edition of All or Nada according to Jack. With me is George Parsekian with his Austin 316.
The GOAT.
Yeah, which means only one thing. We are going to talk about something pro wrestling related. Austin 316, I just kicked your ass. Okay, so anyway, we have a few topics to talk about. First of which is the AEW Double or Nothing pay-per-view that happened this weekend. Unfortunately, we haven't been able to get to it till now because we were both slammed this week with projects, and somebody who's very near and dear to us both had a birthday this week. My daughter Samantha. So yeah,
love of my life.
Yeah,
girlfriend.
Yep. So we had a birthday party for Sam, and all is right with the world. Sam's happy. Keep your women happy. That's all I can say. Happy wife, happy life. So anyway, getting to the AEW pay-per-view, we're both in agreement that it wasn't as great as probably the last one, which was what was the other one called? All or Nothing. AEW Revolution.
Oh, Revolution was the last one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah. So this one's Double or Nothing, and yeah. So basically there was one buy-in. It was Danhausen and Hook versus Tony Nese and Smart Mark Sterling. Not a great match. I gave it a C. I mean, basically, and it's always this thing where, you put the schlub in there first, and he gets beaten around, and then he looks for the hot tag to the good partner. In this case, it was Danhausen, who got his ass kicked early by Tony Nese, made the hot tag to Hook. Hook made them both look ridiculous in a minute, and then he basically knocked out Sterling, and Danhausen was able to pin him with a boot to the chest. So
AEW, why are you not letting Hook take this win? I don't understand. Also, why is Hook even wrestling with Danhausen? Why is Danhausen? I guess he's entertaining, but
I guess I'm longing for the days that they put Hook in with better competition. Who knows? Maybe they'll eventually build him up to face CM Punk. But oops, spoiler alert.
It'll happen one day.
I'm sure some of you already know. But
this match gets a C- for me. It's a stupid opening match. I don't think that Hook should be tagging with anybody, let alone a guy that literally can't wrestle.
Yeah,
doesn't matter. Stupid match, throwaway match. And Hook doesn't even get the dub. That was a stupid match.
Well, we'll get into the booking later, which I think was a little subpar.
Let's go to the next match, which is, in my opinion, the most interesting match of the night.
Yeah. So I gave the buy-in a C. So the first match of the actual pay-per-view, I was shocked that you had that music. It was MJF to start the night. I was shocked. I thought that match would have been billed a little better. I mean, after all the build-up with him and Wardlow, to have it go first. But I come to find out that there's some issues with MJF and AEW right now. So.
It was definitely not supposed to go first, I don't think.
Right.
And if it was, all I heard was what I've heard, and I'm sure a lot of our viewers, if they're big wrestling fans, have also heard. There were problems before. They couldn't get in contact with him. He wasn't answering his phone. He's angry, and I understand why he's angry. He left immediately after. I know they do these, which I also think we should get into later, but they go to these stupid post press conference pay-per-view things, and he wasn't there for it. Obviously, he left immediately, and he was gonna no-show it apparently, but he again does the job, and he does the job like a true wrestler. He's an actual wrestler. He's probably one of the last few ones still alive, even the ones that were, like Chris Jericho used to be a pro wrestler, and now I don't know what he's doing, but that was
sports entertainment.
He put let's just say what it was. He put Wardlow over. Wardlow looked extremely strong, gave him 10 power bombs, absolutely crushed him, stomped him out. And it's kind of what you needed. It was the blow off. But now this is the thing. This is the one smart thing Tony Khan did all night. was he put it in a place where I don't know if MJF is actually gonna stay in AEW or not, but it put it in a place where he did his little thing on AEW this week on Dynamite, I know, but he could go away now for a long time and come back and reinvent himself, which he definitely will.
Yeah.
Or he could just go away forever. And he just got squashed by the guy that he used to employ, and he did it right because he's a true professional.
Right.
And he's gonna make money somewhere. I don't know if he'll get paid like he wants to in AEW, but the big thing with him right now is the contract length. It's not about the money. He wants money, but he also doesn't want to be tied down to AEW.
Yeah.
He sees what they're doing with Cody.
Yeah.
And he's going, maybe I can go over there and be the biggest star in wrestling. And he probably could be.
Yeah.
So
right.
We'll see what happens.
But yeah, more on that later. But I give this match a B- because basically it was a squash match. I was hoping for something a little bit better, but
I'll give it a B because he did exactly his job. I don't think Wardlow, if he's going to be a star, he's going to be a star. He's a Goldberg. And Goldberg had his run, and everyone saw what he was. And it topped out, in my opinion, very early, and people stayed attached to it for too long. But whatever. B, solid B. Solid B.
Okay, well, I had it as a B, but it just became a B-. I called an audible. But yeah, I just didn't like the way, the placement of the match. And, I was hoping that he would somebody's going to have to come in and give Wardlow his lump sooner or later, but still hasn't happened. And they're making him look too invincible right now, which I don't believe
Starting
he
to see
is.
that Tony Khan doesn't know what he's doing either.
No, ridiculous. Anyway, so third match, probably one of the better matches of the night, simply because of the fact that it was the Young Bucks and the Hardy Boys, or they don't call them the boys anymore. They just call them the Hardys. So just the fact that, they're in there, they're kicking a lot of butt, a lot of high flying aerial maneuvers, a lot of false finishes. So I give it a B+.
A lot of big spots in this match as usual, which you would expect from the Young Bucks. They all get their spots in, which sometimes you don't have to, guys. You're never going to listen to me, but you're probably never going to see this. But Young Bucks, you don't have to hit your spots every single match because then they get watered down. I love the Hardys. Like, they're one of my all-time favorite tag teams.
Right.
They waited too long to pull the trigger on this match. They made Jeff jump off of a building through a bunch of tables before they did this match. You could see what it was. It's a bunch. It's two 50-year-old men that are running around doing moves that they shouldn't be doing anymore. They probably shouldn't have been doing back then, but now they really shouldn't be doing them. And it looks like they're hurting themselves.
Right.
I love you guys. It's almost time to hang it up. I'll give this match, because I just can't give you guys a bad grade. You're the Hardys. A B+, and that's me being nice. That was you guys are gonna hurt yourselves,
and that is what I gave it. Yeah,
I felt kind of bad for Jeff at certain points where he tried to do so I'm gonna talk about one spot in the match where he went which Young Buck, I can't remember the Young Bucks, different names, the younger one, Nick Jackson. Nick, he went up and did a whisper in the wind and missed it on purpose, but he did such a good job of getting up there like Jeff used to with climbing the ropes. And then Jeff went to go do one, and he couldn't get up to the top turnbuckle.
Yeah,
Jeff, I don't know, man. Change your style up, become a brawler, or stop doing that, man. You're gonna kill yourself.
Sooner or later, he's gonna have to hang it up.
It was scary when he going up there. I thought he was gonna fall down and hurt himself. Multiple times he botched certain things, but moving on.
What does Ed Norton on The Honeymoon say? Where the spirit is willing, but the flesh is just too much.
He's just too old now.
Yeah.
He's just got to move on. All right. Next one was the first women's match, correct?
Yeah, the women's TBS championship. When you know how I feel about the champion, Jade Cargill.
You're getting sick of her. I know you don't like the winning streak thing.
Yeah.
I think it's working a lot better for her than it is actually for Wardlow, because it's masking her inabilities because she can speak. It helps that she can speak.
Right.
And she looks like $1 jillion. I've never seen a woman wrestler look like her.
Right.
Like, well, China, I guess you had, but she can go already. Like, compared to what China ever was at her peak, she's already better than China. And China was out here beating Jeff Jarrett for Intercontinental Championship. So I'm okay with her dominating right now. I think they put her in there with a terrible dance partner. I'm not gonna say she's gonna be terrible.
We didn't even say who her opponent was. It was Anna Jay.
Oh, Anna Jay. I forgot to say.
This match was like booked. It seemed like at the last minute.
They kind of threw it in there, which kind
yeah.
of feels like they threw in a lot of matches and they didn't have to.
There was no build up to this.
Anna Jay's not ready to be on a pay-per-view on a title match, and she's definitely not ready to be champion. And that's what I said to Jack. Within the first like minute and a half of watching this match, I'm like, you think they would trust this girl with a championship? No, I don't think so.
No.
Jade has the look, and that's pretty much the entire
stiff.
reason she got pushed, and she's at least trying to get there. You know.
I mean, Anna Jay's very nice looking, but yeah, she doesn't have the technical.
She's a very pretty girl, and she's athletic. You can see she's gonna have she has the raw ability, but it's about developing that. And I'm sure that Dustin's working with her. Dustin is a great coach, probably working with her every fucking day. But I'm gonna give that match a C-. It was lackluster. It could have been better.
I gave it a D.
Needed a better build also. There was like no build for I mean, there was a build, but I don't really like they give Jade a faction of people that she kicked the crap out of. I don't understand that. But again, I think Tony Khan's losing his mind, which we'll get to later.
Again, it's in the writing. And and then Ember Moon showed up. I guess she's gonna be her new challenge.
And I like Ember Moon, good in the ring. Can't hurt to sign somebody up.
She's going by the name of Athena now. And I still don't know who that bald man in the suit was at the end. I mean, what the hell was that? You're supposed to be a good speaker.
No idea who that was.
No, nor me. No, but Jade Cargill won, and I gave it a D. So enough said. So next match, trios grudge match. It was the Death Triangle. Pac, Penta, Oscuro, and Ray Phoenix against House of Black, Brody King, Buddy Matthews, and Malachi Black. I think the correct team won here was the House of Black, but
correct finish, but bad finish.
Yeah,
that makes any sense.
Again, so I've got to shoot a little bit on that referee, Rick Knox.
Everyone hates him. Nobody likes
this guy's got no control of the match. I mean, we know it's fake, but at least give some kind of illusion that it's real. Don't stand in the ring with your thumb up your ass.
I've heard that he's a Young Bucks. The Young Bucks got him into the company. Apparently, he's like that. I don't know if you've noticed this, but now that I heard someone else say it, and I've looked back in certain matches, he refs almost all of their matches, which is kind of
why have tag ropes? He allows all this outside interference. I mean, I think it's bad.
He stands there and pretends like he can count to 10, but we all know you can't count to 10, Rick Knox. You don't know how to count.
So I gave this match a C, but I guess I'm kind of happy that and then the finish was a pretty cool finish. Julia Hart came out and did the black mist in Pac's face. Malachi with the super kick. 1, 2, 3. Grade C.
I think
ding ding ding.
This match had a really good potential of being one of the best matches on the card. And for the same reason that a lot of AEW matches aren't good, but they start out very good, and then they get to this one point where it's like, what the hell are you doing?
Yeah.
Where everybody's just standing outside the ring and waiting to catch somebody. And you don't have to do a jump out of the ring spot in every single match, especially if you're 350 pounds and 6'5". Brody King almost died. Like, he literally almost landed on his neck on the ring apron. He doesn't need to be diving, doing cannonballs outside of the ring. You don't have to look at you. Why are you doing that? Do you know what wrestling is? Have you ever watched wrestling? Like, it's not you. The way you build yourself and try to present yourself. Why are you doing a cannonball outside the ring?
Back in my
what
day,
are you doing?
The Bruiser Brodies and Stan Hansens and Ivan Koloffs, they never would have done that springboard.
They could knock you out with a punch. Yeah. And that's the point. And that's why they could have longer careers. But you, Brody King, are going to break your neck if you keep doing stupid shit like that.
Right.
It's very dumb. I don't think every single person out in that match, which was 6 people, dove out of the ring in the same spot. Why?
Yeah, right.
Why did we do that? That's the only problem I have with this. And it went literally from like maybe a B+ to about a C.
Well, I gave it a C as well.
It's going to be a C+ for me, but that's just because it was a perfect finish. And I don't know that little girl's name. I can't remember. Julia Hart.
Yeah.
I love that they corrupted her and that story angle, but like she looks like she's 13 years old. What is she doing on
Yeah.
AEW television?
Imagine
I'm
getting
sure she's 20 or whatever, but like
sprayed in the face by a 13.
it's gonna be a good finish. It's gonna be a good story, I think, for them,
Yeah.
and I feel like Malachi can build it. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah. So on to the middle of the card, and I actually thought these two matches kind of saved the card. I'm talking both the Owen Hart Foundation men final matches. So first it was the men's. It was Adam Cole against Samoa Joe. Yeah, Adam Cole.
I'm a big Adam Cole guy, and this is gonna be a shocker to some people, but we'll see what happens.
But you know what? Cole beat him clean. I like it. He lowered the boom, but it was a good match. I gave it a B.
I think that Adam Cole shouldn't have won this match. Actually, I think that in an Owen Hart Foundation match, especially an inaugural one, in an Owen Hart Foundation tournament, the face should go over.
Well, here's the thing. The reason I think they had him win was because Samoa Joe already has a title.
I understand that, but I think that there's a bigger reason why that, but we have to wait till the next match.
They're also trying to build up Adam Cole, so
I understand that, but you have him lose to. I also love Orange Cassidy, right? He loses to Pockets.
Nowhere to be found.
So he loses to Pockets.
Yeah.
And then he can't beat the world champion.
Right.
And then Samoa Joe wins the title, right?
Yeah.
And then you have him do the job to Adam Cole, who can't beat anybody so far.
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah.
And then you have his heel buddy come out in the middle of the match and interfere. But then Samoa Joe starts getting offense, like he's gonna still beat him.
Yeah.
And then you have him do the roll up. And it's like, that's not how you do that. You should have had him, if you're gonna have the heel win there. And I think that I can't speak for Owen Hart, but I'm gonna say Owen Hart is a Hart. So like knowing the Hart family, like not personally, but like knowing the stories about them, he would have rather had the heel win in heelish fashion. If you're gonna have the heel win, don't have him beat the face clean. Which
I will say this, I think Adam Cole needs a new finish. I don't like that lower the boom with the knee strike.
I don't hate the boom. I think what the problem with Adam Cole is he's getting kind of lazy and he doesn't look like he used to. Like first of all, you're a tiny wrestler, so you're never gonna, no one's ever gonna, there are gonna be people that are always gonna talk about him, like, oh, he's not big enough, he's not this, he's not that. But now I feel like he's just kind of giving up and just taking the money. And I don't know, Adam, you're one of my favorite wrestlers, man. Just I think everyone needs to do better in AEW, and I'm starting to see it. And I didn't see it before, but there's a lot of problems.
But in any event, I can at least say that the next match, I liked it. It was the women's tournament final.
That's a B for me.
Dr. Oh, okay. Yep, it was a B for me as well. Yeah, still a good match.
Yeah. This
match number 7, the Owen Hart Foundation Women's Final Tournament Final. So it was Dr. Britt Baker, DMD,
also one of my favorites.
Ruby Soho. First thing that happened, 2 guitar players, one for Dr. Britt Baker, played her out. Then the band Rancid played to the song, Ruby Soho song. And I don't know if everybody's going to get this reference. I wrote this little note down. What is Triple H doing playing with Rancid? LOL. The guitar player and singer looked just like Triple H.
I didn't even notice that.
Yeah.
I loved that Rancid was there. Like I grew up and I knew who Rancid was, and I actually my friend reminded me that this was their song, because I was like, oh, it's kind of cool. They wrote her a song. He's like, dude, that's a song by Rancid. I'm like, oh shit, that is a song by Rancid. It was cool that they were there. But the match was solid.
Yeah.
Britt Baker usually has solid matches, and Ruby Riott can go. I'm so much sorry. Ruby Soho can go.
I was
Britt
shocked.
Baker won.
It was a clean finish.
I thought it was going to be not a clean finish. I thought both these matches were going to be
clean finish. Yeah.
I said one of two things has to happen: either the faces have to win,
or
the heels have to win the right way, which would be to cheat. But
right.
Britt Baker less than Adam Cole, in my opinion. Britt Baker is legitimate at this point.
But what shocked me at the end, even though she was a heel, she did a quick handshake.
Yeah, well, I think that's like for Owen. I think that was like an Owen gesture, an Owen-ish gesture.
I can see that.
He was everybody's best friend in the wrestling industry.
Right.
This match is solid for me as always with Britt. Didn't feel phoned in like a lot of these matches tonight. It's gonna be an A- for me.
That's what I gave it. Yep, A-.
Oh.
Yep. Yep. I hope you're not looking at my grades.
I'm not.
But okay.
I can't see them from this angle.
But not much else to talk about other than Dr. Martha Hart came out, presented championship belts to Adam and Britt for winning this.
Her outfit
tournament.
was out of this freaking world, man.
Yeah, yeah.
I was happy. It felt like the Hall of Fame speech that she'll never be able to give. You know what I mean? That's what it felt like to me.
Right.
And that was the best moment of the night.
Right.
That was the best moment.
Yeah. So anyway, next match, mixed trios match: Frankie Kazarian, Sammy Guevara, and Ty Conte against TNT champion Scorpio Sky, Ethan Page, and Paige Van Zant. Wow, a lot of pages.
So you're gonna have how many multiple people on tag teams in a tag team match? Like
It's
there
a
was
way to
3
get
times.
it's a way to get more people into the card.
You know what that's telling you, Tony Khan? You're signing too many people. You don't know what
Yeah.
to do with them.
Well, more to come on that. Yeah, but Conti came out with a Maleficent hat. I think that was the best moment of that match.
That was the only good part of this match. The match was
I thought the
bad.
booking was really bad. I mean, the heat between Frankie Kazarian and both Guevara and Conte, who were flirting more during the match, showboating than actually paying attention to the match. So they did us a favor ending this one quickly. But
what'd you give it?
ridiculous. I gave it a C minus.
So this situation that's happening to Sammy and Ty Conti right now, this is why back in the day, certain wrestlers didn't ride together and nobody ever saw them together. And there was a thing called kayfabe, because then you wouldn't have this problem. But you guys can't hide anything, and you all have to tell everybody your lives. And you have to tell everybody, by the way, that what we're doing is fake. Everyone, by the way, what we're doing is bullshit.
Yeah, right.
Either way, Ty Conti is one of the best wrestlers on this roster for the women, which is not saying too much.
Booking her shitty.
But they're gonna book her like garbage.
Yeah.
Sammy, same thing. They're gonna book him now like garbage. I feel like they're almost getting punished.
Yeah.
And maybe they deserve to be in a certain degree.
I don't know if Tony Khan has that in him like Vince McMahon.
Yeah,
I think it's just his ineptitude, personally.
he doesn't know what he's doing. He needs to hire some writers.
Yeah.
Some of these matches, I told you earlier, we were texting about this. I was at work earlier and I was texting about this. Some of these matches felt like late WCW Vince Russo era matches, and this was one of them for me.
Yeah.
Like it was all over the place. It made no
across.
sense.
Yeah.
It felt like they were just using belts as props. First of all, you have no right to use a UFC title belt in a feud in a wrestling match. I don't think that's okay. I'm not even a UFC fan, but I'm just going to go ahead and say that if UFC fans knew what happened, they would be very pissed off at what just happened.
Yeah.
Because it's wrong. It's just the wrong angle. I don't understand why you need to generate more heat for them if he hates them already.
Basically, what they did was they broke into Dan Lambert's trophy trove and stole a couple of his belts, his UFC belts that he had collected.
It took like a woman's UFC belt and then a bunch of Bellator belts, I think.
Right.
But this match was subpar for me. I gave it a D. It was a bad match.
I gave it a C minus.
And I love Sammy, but you know what? In a couple of years, we're all gonna forget about this. They're having like an Edge, Lita sort of situation that's happening to them right now, where when Edge took Lita from Matt Hardy in real life, they turned it into wrestling. Unfortunately, the person who is involved in that way, where he left his ex-girlfriend, I guess, for Ty Conti, is not a wrestler, so we can't get the blow off.
Right.
And now everyone's just going to hate them for a while, which kind of sucks for them, I guess, because they're both great. But again, ineptitude from Tony Khan. Doesn't know what to do. He literally is thinking, oh, Edge and Lita. That's what he's thinking. I guarantee it.
Yeah.
But he's fucking it up. So whatever.
Right.
Let's move on.
Okay, next match. Again, this is another match that barely got any build-up.
Why did this match happen?
Darby Allin and Kyle O'Reilly. I guess they figured they had to get them into this match. So basically, at the last minute, the 11th hour, Darby Allin basically made it a grudge match because Kyle O'Reilly attacked Sting.
Are you saying about the 11th hour in general, or the 11th hour of this pay-per-view? Because it felt like
it
was 12 hours long.
The 11th hour, the 11th hour in general.
I know.
I mean, I'm thinking that Friday he challenged him.
That's just this match was thrown in for no reason. They didn't need to wrestle. here's the thing, it's two great wrestlers going at it.
Yes.
So, I mean, the fact that there was no reason to have this match, it automatically started for me at like a C plus.
Okay.
So it got a little higher throughout the match because they did have great spots. And I think Kyle O'Reilly, if he could speak, he'd be a superstar, but he
Yeah.
can't.
Right.
That's why he follows
But,
Adam Cole around like a
yeah,
puppy dog.
it was a good match.
It-
I gave it a B plus.
I was gonna say I gave it a B, and it's a
Right.
good match, but not great, good.
But I think I was being a little generous there.
This could have been like a mid-card match on a Dynamite. That's why it's not going to get a much higher grade for me. Like, why did this happen? It's going to happen on Wednesday.
Right.
Didn't have to happen tonight. Moving
Okay,
on.
so next match, the AEW Women's Championship match.
This was a highlight, actually, for me.
Yes, this was one of the best matches. I had only one minor note. I thought that, for all of the heat that they have with each other, I was a little surprised that Serena Deeb didn't get as much offense or didn't put up a threat to Thunder Rosa as I thought she could have. Otherwise, great match. Both really, probably the top two women's wrestlers in AEW right now. I gave it an A minus.
I don't think Tony Khan likes Serena Deeb too much for some reason because he books her in a weird, not badly, just in a weird way. Like she's like such a big threat.
Mm-hmm.
Give her, even if it's transitional, you should give her a belt for a second, like make her more of a threat in that sense. You know what I mean? Like she came in as I think the NWA champion, women's champion, when they had a working relationship with them, and she seemed like more of a threat then. And I feel like she's one of those people where if you put a belt on her, she'll elevate it.
Yeah,
Because she's I'm gonna say this, it's very hard for a babyface to elevate a title. It is. It just is. Like it doesn't feel as important for some reason. It feels more important when they're trying to go get it than it does when they have it. The only one I can think of in my mind that elevated a title as a babyface, and you don't even know about this run because you didn't watch ECW, but RVD, when he had the television title in ECW, it felt more important than the world title in ECW. But that's the only time I can think of other than that. Like did John Cena make a world title ever feel important? They felt like garbage. First of all,
Yeah.
he turned it into a goddamn spinner, which, what is that? And then he would drop it every other month, it felt like. Like, yeah, he has 16 world title reigns. At least Flair's, a lot of those were long runs, or like he was trading belts with somebody where it made sense. Like with John Cena, it was like, oh, we don't like this guy. We're going to use you to take the title off of him, but then you're going to go lose to Triple H, or then you're going to lose to this guy. Like it's
Roddy Piper asking Tony Gurria, you've won the title 5 times, but you also lost the title 5 times.
Yeah, well.
But anyway, Serena Deeb, and Thunder Rosa, I gave it an A minus because, I think probably one of the best matches of the night, which is polar opposite to the next match we're going to talk about. This anarchy.
I'm going to talk about that again. That's a B plus for me for the record. Let's wait a second. B plus, good match. I love Thunder Rosa. She grows on me every time a little more every time I see her wrestle. I like her a lot.
She's a good champion.
When you give her a good dance partner, she does well. I feel like the only matches she had that were lackluster were with Britt Baker, and I feel like maybe she was like, give me the title already. Like, you're going to put it on me.
Right.
And it was time. And I get why. I feel like she was sandbagging. I remember I said that at I think at Revolution, she was sandbagging a little bit, and they put the title on her like a week later. Just should have given her a Revolution, which is probably why she was pissed.
Right.
But B plus, Thunder Rosa, she's moving up there. She's one of the better women wrestlers out there right now.
Okay, very cool.
Moving on to the worst match of the night.
Anarchy in the arena, which I should call chaos in the arena. This was pure chaos. I mean, you had Bryan Danielson, Eddie Kingston, John Moxley, Santana and Ortiz against what we're now calling the Jericho Appreciation Society. Angelo Park, Chris Jericho, Danny Garcia, Jake Hager, Matt Menard.
Yeah, because you know what makes a terrible match better? When you just add a bunch of people that nobody cares about to a match. Like, Tony Khan, did you hire Vince Russo to produce a match, and is this the one? Because this is horrible. This is so bad. Nobody could follow anything. You were cutting every 5 seconds to a different spot. I couldn't follow it.
Right.
Why was there music playing throughout 2/3 of this match?
Yeah.
What the fuck was that?
Well, so I guess they had, what's his name, come out last. John
Moxley, but they all came out together to Moxley's music.
They came out to Wild Thing, and they just kept on playing it while they're beating the hell out of each other. It's so stupid. cut the damn music
The best
already.
spot of the match was when Chris Jericho hit somebody in that. I can't even remember because it was such a terribly designed match.
Yeah.
But Chris Jericho, I think it was Moxley, hit Moxley with the soundboard so the music stopped.
Yes.
That was the best part of the match. Not because it was awesome to see everybody get hit. It was great that the music finally stopped. That was stupid. And then Jericho beat probably, I'm going to say arguably, but I think right now, the best wrestler in the world, pound for pound, in the middle of the ring. Danielson. Why?
Yeah.
What are you doing with Bryan Danielson? What are you doing with him?
Well, what I think is going to happen, I think it's setting up a match against Danielson, Jericho against Danielson in the future.
If I was Bryan Danielson, I would be sitting there right now thinking, I cannot believe I left WWE, which is sad to say because they're not doing anything much better, but he wouldn't have gotten embarrassed in a match like that. But I feel like Danielson was, by the way, hiding for most of this match because half the match I was like, where's Bryan Danielson? He was probably off in a corner where there was no cameras, like, I can't believe I'm a part of this.
Yeah.
Because he's one of the last wrestlers left. And
but granted, it wasn't a clean win. He had the walls of Jericho on Danielson while Hager was actually choking him with the ropes that Moxley took off. But
it was awful.
C- for me.
I'm going to give that an F. That was the worst match I've ever seen in my life. And I thought Stadium Stampede was the worst match I ever saw in my life. But then I saw that. What are you doing, Chris Jericho? And then, let me talk about this for 1 second. Chris Jericho, by the way, we were talking about the post press conference. You sat there and literally blew yourself for about 15-20 minutes about how great your ideas are and how great this match was and how great the wizard thing is. None of that is good. I'm not a fan. Figure it out, man. Because you've reinvented yourself a million times, and I don't doubt that you could do it again. But this is bullshit, and you know it's bullshit. And don't keep. And he's also blowing the mark, which the money mark, and that's you, Tony Khan. You're the money mark. We're marks. He's the money mark, and he doesn't know he's a mark.
Right.
At least we know we're marks. Moving on, that's an F. Let's go.
Okay. AEW Tag Team Championship triple threat tag team match. Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus against Team Taz, Powerhouse Hobbs, and Ricky Starks.
Because again, at the last minute, and Tony Khan realized I don't know where to put it. All these guys will throw them together in a match.
Right. So then there's Keith Lee and Swerve Strickland. So
sloppy booking. The match was, for what they did and like how they kind of screwed these guys, in my opinion. They did a good job with it. Jurassic Express, there was a weird part where Jungle Boy, was it Jungle Boy who kicked Luchasaurus in the face? No, Luchasaurus kicked Jungle Boy in the face, right?
Oh, yeah.
So at that point, I'm like, oh shit, they're gonna lose. Because usually when that happens, the champs don't retain. They ended up retaining.
I'm actually surprised they kept the titles on them.
I was happy with that match, though, to be honest, for what they were given. Probably not a lot of time, and you got a lot of spots to cover. They, for me, get a B.
Okay, I gave it a C+. So, but Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus did retain. I was a little surprised. I had this funny feeling Powerhouse Hobbs and Ricky Starks might win.
Well, when they grab the titles at the beginning, I feel like that's a bad omen. If you do something like that, you're not getting the belts. But I want them to win. I want them to have I want all of them to have belts. Let Taz be like that asshole heel leader. Do something. You're not building stories enough, AEW. You're just like rushing into these pay-per-views and just throwing this shit together now, and it's not going to work. Just because you have a stacked roster doesn't mean you could just throw matches together. You have to build a story, or nobody's going to care.
Right. Which brings us to our main event, AEW Championship match. CM Punk challenging against Hangman Adam Page. So go ahead, George. What do you think?
CM Punk, you're feeling pretty old after that match, aren't you?
Right.
I sit here and like we criticize these guys who are like, we're obviously not in shape to go out there and try to hit a buckshot lariat, but you should know that you shouldn't be doing a buckshot lariat on a pay-per-view on live television, especially after you missed the first one. Just act like you hurt your knee and you can't do it again. Just don't do it, because it looked so bad both times. It's hard to remember a lot of the rest of the match because of it, because they did a good job building it throughout the match, and then they went to this spot where everyone's got to use each other's moves now, where like, that's not a new thing. That started with Austin and The Rock, but you're not Austin and The Rock. So, and your moves are more complicated. Don't do that. You're not 25 anymore, 27, whatever. CM Punk, you're not in your prime anymore. I think they did the right thing. We talked about this with Dave. Thank you, Dave LaGreca. Shout out Dave LaGreca. me and him both picked CM Punk for this. He thought Adam Page would win.
Right.
I think Adam Page isn't ready to be champion, and I thought he was younger than he is actually. He's 30. I thought he was a little younger. He feels younger to me because of the way he carries himself. It feels immature. I don't know how to explain it. It feels like Randy Orton on his first title win,
Right.
and you're just not ready to be there yet. I think they think that CM Punk is going to bring them to the level where, like, Jericho elevated the title for them, and it was huge. And it's probably why they're still in business right now. So they think that it's going to be kind of a second coming of that. I don't think so. CM Punk, it's the right time to put the title on him because he's probably not going to have more than one more title run after this, if he has one.
Yeah.
He could probably go 8 or 9 months with the title and wrestle some great matches. But are you going to build the stories right?
Yeah.
I heard him on the post press conference talking about guys he'd like to face. He didn't mention some guys where I was kind of surprised, like what was one I was trying to think off the top of my head. Like, he didn't mention Jericho, which is weird to me, but he mentioned Danielson. Danielson was the first guy he mentioned.
Yeah.
Who, by the way, did the job to Chris Jericho in the middle of the ring in one of the worst matches I've ever seen. The worst match I've ever seen.
Granted, it was a heel finish, so it wasn't a clean finish.
No, absolutely not. But it was a fucking no rules match. So whatever.
Well, I could see him facing Wardlow down the line, Hook down the line.
Well, one of them would have to turn heel. He can only fight heels right now, I feel like. Right. And Danielson's in line to turn heel again. Even though what is he? What is that group? Are they heels? Are they faces? I don't know.
They're shades of gray.
It's weird. But all in all, that match is gonna get a B- for me. Right. Right finish, not great execution towards the end.
They actually, he also mentioned John Moxley. Yeah.
He did mention John Moxley, but I forgot to say they were gonna do the heel turn. I felt like with Adam Page. I kept saying I feel like they're gonna turn him heel. They're gonna turn him heel, and then he grabbed the title, and it's like, just hit him with it. Yeah. Or go to hit him with it and miss. Doesn't matter. But just turn him heel, because that sets it up for later. Right. I feel like he's gonna turn heel regardless. He's gonna probably be like I try to do the right thing and then look where it got me. Screw you guys, sort of thing. But he should have just tried to hit him with the title. Right. Bad finish. C-, not B-.
Okay, well, I gave it an A-, but maybe I'm being a little too generous. But otherwise, you know what? They performed well. They're top performers in the company.
Yeah, absolutely. CM Punk is still the draw. He's proven that. But can't do some of the things he used to do.
Right.
Which is fine.
So anyway, since it took us a few days to get to this point and review the AEW pay-per-view, I actually earlier today I watched Dynamite. I usually DVR it and watch it later on Wednesday night or early Thursday, but I took some notes. Again, some of the follow-ups. I just, and again, AEW is now in year 3, and for me, it's just starting to feel like some of the mistakes that they did at WCW. So
it literally does feel that way,
MJF came out, and he went into this whole rant for real bad rant for 7 minutes against the company and specifically Tony Khan, and he made it look very real and convincing. So was it a work or was it a real shoot?
I've heard it was a work shoot. I haven't actually heard it yet, but I've heard it was pretty scathing. And
it was.
MJF's not happy, and he's gonna go get paid. He'll stay there and get paid and sit at home until his contract's up, and then he'll go to WWE. And people are saying it's gonna hurt him because Vince is gonna see his attitude. No, Vince is gonna see a guy that he respects because he knows what he's worth.
Right.
And he's gonna get paid regardless. I promise you, he's gonna be a top heel for a long time. And if Tony doesn't want to pay him and Tony wants to treat him poorly, then he'll go make money somewhere else. And Tony, if you keep doing this, you won't be around much longer.
Well, this is going to lead me to a point later on. But anyway, I was shocked that the commentators didn't say boo about MJF's, shoot interview. I mean, they're always disparaging the guy and, adding some element to his story, but they didn't do that.
Maybe Tony told them not to say anything about it.
Yeah. Maybe
it felt a lot like CM Punk's. I don't know if you know about the pipe bomb, right? CM Punk's pipe bomb. I'm gonna show you that. You probably was part during the time you stopped for a little while,
right? Yeah.
It was PG era's height, but he went out there and basically badmouthed the WWE sitting on the stage just with a microphone. I feel like that's probably what it feels like. I read a little bit of what he said. I didn't get to see it yet. I heard they didn't show everything either.
Okay.
But CM Punk's pissed. CM
Yeah.
Punk, I'm sorry. MJF is pissed.
Yeah.
And rightfully so. He's
Right.
he's probably, well, I've heard he's their highest draw when it comes to ratings. So
Yeah,
pay him
right.
accordingly.
Well, he does allude to that a little in his shoot interview, but
And he's 23. What are you doing?
on to other topics. So a couple of the notes that I had from Dynamite. You had Johnny Elite, formerly John Morrison of WWE, made an open challenge. I thought they were just
John
going to
Morrison's on AEW now?
Oh yeah,
I didn't know that.
yeah. He went by the name. Yeah, he was the surprise match in the Owen Hart tournament.
I missed like 3 weeks of wrestling,
Right.
by the way, guys. I'm sorry. I was working
Yeah.
all those days.
I forget who he fought, but he fought somebody and he lost. So you had him losing that. So then his opponent, here's a guy who had been away for maybe a year. He just came back, Miro, formerly Rusev. So, and you know what? Miro basically squashed him. How do you book a new guy to lose not one, but two matches?
Who you're probably going to book as a babyface. Good job. Good
Yeah.
job, Tony.
What the fuck were you thinking?
He doesn't know what he's fucking
I mean, I like Miro. I'm watching him out there today. He reminds me of the old Ivan Putski and Ivan Koloff rolled into one. I kind of like that old, you know.
He's a good character. He has a good gimmick. But here's the thing, like John Morrison, he has had a million names, Johnny Nitro, whatever his names are, is one of the most athletic wrestlers I've ever seen in my life, and no one is ever going to use him correctly, except for Impact. But they probably used him a little beyond him.
But he's not the first one that.
What's his name now? I'm sorry.
Miro.
No, not Miro. John Morrison.
Johnny Elite. Yeah.
Why do you change your name to every company you work for? His name was Johnny Impact, Johnny Nitro.
Well, because I think WWE holds the copyright on some of these names.
That's a shtick now, is he just changes his name to the freaking company name. That's lame.
But we'll move on to the next thing. So we waited for what, a year or quite a long time for CM Punk to win the title. So why book him with FTR and not have him come out and just talk about what his path is going to be moving forward as far as potential opponents.
Did he talk shit at FTR or what happened?
He didn't talk at all. It boggles my mind.
He said that if he could fight FTR every match for the rest of his life, he'd have a great time. That's what he said.
Oh yeah, well good. So, I won't pay for the pay-per-view. That's for damn sure.
Here's the thing about them. They have this stacked roster. Who are you really paying to go see?
Yeah.
Who?
Yeah. Well,
if they build Wardlow, maybe. If they build, some of these guys could be stars. Well, Wardlow, Hobbs, the guy who hasn't been on TV forever. What was his name? The old FTW champion. Who was?
I don't know.
I can't remember his name even right now, but he was a big, massive dude.
Right.
Big Jack guy who was with Taz.
Okay.
I can't remember his name right now. It doesn't matter. You have stars.
Hobbs or
no? He was with Hobbs for a
I
while.
I know who you mean.
You know what I'm talking about, but I can't remember his name.
Something Page or
no, it wasn't Page. That's regardless. You have guys that you could have built the stars, and you're not doing it. You're not doing it.
Yeah.
And I thought you were going to be able to.
Right. But again, which brings me to my other point. So first, my point is the Jericho segment was good. Finally, he redeemed himself a little. It was kind of funny. I liked what they did with that. You know what? Just not feeling this. I'll talk about that after. But with Tony Khan stockpiling all this talent, you have
Brian Cage.
Cage, yes.
I was gonna annoy me all night. Right. Sorry,
but you have him stockpiling all this talent. You have them on TV for about a month, and then what happens? They get
loses interest. That's what happens.
They get relegated to AEW Dark on YouTube. I mean, that's crazy.
Tony, you don't know what you're doing.
I think wrestling is heading back to the old era, like the 70s, where in old WWE you had these heels. They'd come, they'd work the territory for a few months, and then they'd move on.
I'd be okay with that, but
then
you'd have to talk about them having an actual working relationship, which I don't think Vince McMahon will ever do again.
Right.
Because he's a dick. He knows he knows he is.
You know what? His product has it coming from me also, in this email.
Vince,
or
you
this-
saved
this
wrestling
show.
and then also ruined it.
Yeah.
So I mean, now
We're
we have
gonna get
marks
to
like
that.
Tony Khan trying to open wrestling companies, and it's great for a year, and then
It was great. It was fun to watch the first couple of years. Now it's
he doesn't know what he's doing. He
Yeah.
literally has no idea. It's like when
yeah.
WCW got NWO, they had Vince by the throat, but they didn't know how to squeeze.
Right.
It's like the same thing. Like he had a little fucking
I think
wave
Vince knew-
going, and then it just died.
I think Vince knew that once Cody left and came to WWE, that was like a moral victory for him.
I thought he won right there. I told you that was at WrestleMania when that popped for him. I was like,
Yeah.
that's it. AEW might be fucked. And
Yeah.
I think he's nervous. I think he's scared. I showed you that little bit of him talking before we did the show. He sounds like he's losing his mind. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna say anything more than that. I don't like to speculate on people's lives, but he sounds like he's under a lot of stress.
Rich egomaniac.
Yep.
He needs to, let go of some of the reins.
I think he thought he was gonna come in here and beat Vince very quickly, and it's
Yeah.
not gonna happen. You're not gonna beat Vince at
No.
all,
No.
but you need to at least
You
be better for just be better for you, not for
have to
Vince.
keep a consistent product, which is what I try to do on this channel. So
The first thing I thought when he had AEW open was, oh, this will be great because now WWE will be better.
yeah.
But then Vince saw the product, he was like, oh, I don't have to try.
Yeah,
Because he knew it was going to happen. And now look where we are.
Well, WWE isn't out of the woods yet. So let's talk about Hell in the Cell really quick. The current card that's coming up this weekend.
Unless they add a bunch of matches tomorrow.
So I see 6 matches. You have the Hell in a Cell match, Cody Rhodes versus Seth Rollins.
The official
Okay,
match, sure.
that's a good match. Then you got the Raw Women's Championship, Bianca versus Asuka versus Becky. Okay, that's also maybe a decent match, but those are not top card matches. Third, you have Bobby Lashley against Omos and MVP in a handicap match. I mean, what the hell is that? I mean, I would have, if you wanted to do it right, you should have put Bobby and Omos in the Hell in a Cell. That's what you should have done. Kind of like the Undertaker and what's his name, years ago, Mick Foley, something like that. Have them really tear the place apart. But
There was a
lame.
match added.
Oh, okay.
The tag titles are going to be on the line. It's going to be the Usos versus
Oh,
Riddle and Shinsuke Nakamura. So that's a terrible match because we all know who's going to win that.
they just had them fight the other day on Raw.
That's apparently what's going to happen.
Oh God. Well, he probably looked at the card in shame, horror and shame like I did. I mean, you got Kevin Owens against Ezekiel. What the fuck is that?
You have other championships. Like you have so many titles that you don't utilize. Like
Yeah.
the Intercontinental Championship hasn't been on the line in a pay-per-view in forever.
Right.
You have one guy with both of your world titles, which way to write yourself into a corner.
Yeah.
Is he defending?
No, he's not on the card.
I don't want to even.
So-
Is he leaving? Like what's going on with him?
I don't know, but it's like Vince backed himself into a corner when,
Well, maybe
You know-
they'll announce a match last minute on Friday.
so the only men's title you have is the US Championship, Austin Theory against Mustafa. I
and
mean,
Austin Theory is going to win. That's going to be a shit match. Actually, it'll probably be a good match, but nobody gives a fuck.
that's like a match you would schedule at the beginning of a Raw.
That's like a match that
Yeah.
would be great in an indie show.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that's what that is for me. They're good. They're good wrestlers, but
Right.
they have no story. Nobody cares about Mustafa Ali, and you should just let him go, Vince. He won't let him go. He wants to leave.
And then you
Let him
have
go.
Edge, Damian, Rhea Ripley against AJ Styles, Finn Balor, and Liv Morgan.
Because everyone cares about that.
That's another match that should just be on Raw. So this for me, this has to be one of the worst.
I think AJ is
cards.
actually going to turn and join Edge. Actually, so maybe it'll be a cool.
Mm,
Like I think
yeah,
they're building to something there. It's
Right.
not just a match. There's something in it. There's going to be a moment there. but-
yeah,
Or a fourth member's coming, or it's going to be one of them is turning.
yeah.
I don't know who it's going to be.
On the whole, I mean,
I think it's gonna be AJ.
I think you're going to have a very low buy rate.
This is he doesn't have to have a buy rate because
Right,
he sold
yeah.
the Peacock for fucking $2 billion
No,
or
I
whatever
think
it
you're
was.
going to see your Peacock ratings go down. I think Nielsen still rates that too. But yeah, they have to. Yeah.
This is going to be a shitty pay-per-view.
Oh yeah.
Why do we have to go? Why are you making me watch Omos versus Bobby Lashley again? Why? Nobody wants to see that.
But
But
that's-
say an MVP because that'll make it better.
I mean, it's like you're giving the advantage to Bobby Lashley there.
Yeah, because he
Basically-
could just beat the shit out of MVP now.
Yeah. So now he could So now Omos could lose with dignity.
Shouldn't MVP be running away? Like, I don't understand. What is his role? Isn't he
Yeah,
the heel that's always scared to fight people now? But he's gonna add himself to a match. Like, what is this?
yeah. Well, like I said, WWE has fallen really
Who's the
far.
Intercontinental Champion, by the way? Just asking.
I haven't a clue.
Yeah, that's all I needed to know. Oh, it's Ricochet, right?
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Where has he been?
Vince doesn't even know he exists, or that title exists, by the way,
I had
or that he backed himself into a corner by literally taking 4 titles and making them 2 titles, and now
right. Yeah. But anyway, so I had in my notes where are the men's tag titles, but you just told me that supposedly they added it.
supposedly that's going to be a match.
Yeah.
We'll see. And either way, I'll give you 5 seconds to guess who's going to win that match. It's the Usos. Like, who cares? Why?
Yeah.
They were like, "Oh, Shinsuke, you still work here. Oh, you're gonna fight with Riddle." That's what happened there.
Yeah. Unbelievable.
Who Shinsuke? If I was Shinsuke, I'd be
So,
like, "Please
are
cut
you-
me. Let me go back
Are
to
you
Japan."
planning on watching SmackDown tomorrow night?
I might tape it to see what happens, because are you gonna add Roman to this card? Like, what is going on with these
You
these belts?
can't.
And
I mean,
I thought he was gonna fight Drew. What's going on?
yeah, but there's been no billing for it. There's been no
I think
build-up.
I think what happened was I saw this the match where it was the triple tag. What was it, Backlash?
Right.
Nobody was cheering for Drew, but everyone was screaming, Randy, Randy. They
Mm,
want Randy to fight for the title, and they made Randy go away
Yeah,
because of it.
right. Yeah.
Vince, just let Randy go fight him for the title. Maybe put it on him, because
Who knows? It could. Hopefully, they have a good opponent for Roman for SummerSlam. Remains to be seen.
it's gonna end up probably being Brock Lesnar.
But not a good state.
It's gonna be Brock
affairs.
Lesnar, ladies and gentlemen.
Maybe. Well, he's only coming back if they put the title on him.
I think it'll actually probably be Cody.
Yeah.
Cody at SummerSlam,
Yeah.
and then let's see what happens at Money in the Bank, because
Who
I have a
knows?
theory, which I think we should do a show on like what we think's gonna happen this year. 'Cause
Yeah.
that'll be
Right.
a cool show.
But my early speculation, who knows? Maybe Roman's not happy about the fact that he's going to have to drop the belt eventually to Cody.
Well, I have an idea for that. So
Mm.
maybe tune in for another show, boys and girls. I have a really good
Right.
idea for that. They're gonna have to separate the belts at some point. That's the only hint I'm gonna give. I'm gonna give.
Here on June 4th, not a good or June 3rd it is now. Not a good state of affairs for either
Either company.
AEW or WWE. But you heard it here first, hopefully. Anyway, so we've beaten it to death. We've ranted like old ladies. But so I'll say good night. Thank you for watching. Jack Toledano speaking for All and Nada. Put your comments in the comments section. If you like what I do, please subscribe. I'm just gonna give George an opportunity to say good night.
Good night, guys. Thank you. Bye,
All
Sam.
right. Have a good
Happy
one,
birthday.
everybody. Bye.